Hi, this is Moos Jacobs for DeBarra's spoken word, and we will be doing an event on the 15th of July, 2026. And our very special guests, all our guests are very special, but this one is very, very special, is Róisín Leggett Bohan, a poet who is based in Cork. Welcome, Róisín. Lovely to see you here, and I look forward to seeing you in DeBarra's spoken word in the evening, 8:30 and onwards. And are you actually born and bred in Cork, or are you from West Cork?
I'm from County Cork,
Okay.
so I'm from like the halfway is
Yeah.
on the way to Bandon. I'm kind of like on the way to the halfway.
Halfway to the half special
I'm
place nobody knows, quarter way, like.
I'm in that general direction, so it's definitely I'm definitely a country girl, although so that's in my ether, but I live in Cork City now. Um
Okay.
yeah. And you mentioned West Cork. West Cork is uh very much part of me as well because my grandmother was from there. So
And
yeah,
from whereabouts was your grandmother?
she was from Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have a special, and do you still have relatives living there as well? You go back home there, or is that too distant, too remote?
So when I go back to visit my grandfather and grandmother's graves, which are in the cemetery beside Church Strand. Um, but I no longer have any relatives there. But
Okay.
but they're there. And yeah, it's good sometimes to go back. Yeah, yeah.
You're a woman of many talents and many trades in a way. Of course you're here because you're a poet, but you're also a painter, and you're also are you practicing as a nurse at the moment, or is that in the past?
Um, I trained as a nurse, and right now I'm not practicing right now at the moment.
And you're active as a poet and as a painter, or
I'm active as a poet, and I would say that I'm not professionally a painter at all.
okay.
But I throw the brush on the page. That's what I do.
And that is regular. I mean, that you do that regularly.
I do that in between. So yeah, I do that as much as I can. It is a very pleasurable thing to do. Yeah.
because because you're also active as the editor of HOWL magazine, which is
Hmm.
for new writing.
Hmm.
And but I wonder, like the paint, I'll be talking about poetry soon. But I wonder, the painting, does that serve a very different purpose than the poetry? Is, writing with word, painting with words, or painting with paint? Is that a different? Is that different?
Yeah, I think painting allows me to get into the space in the brain that is not thinking, that is just doing naturally. The flow of the hand is not really um, squirming thoughts, it's just doing. And so I would say yes, whenever I can find um, something which allows me to get out of my head, to disconnect from the part that is constantly thinking, then it's a very good space to be in, but it also does help the poetry for sure.
Okay, can you explain a little about in what way? How does it help you? Because maybe you can say something about the process of poetry writing in general. I mean, something I wonder is like, how does it start? Is there a poem sort of tugging your sleeve, or do you go and say, "Oh, I want to write a poem today. Let's do it." How does it work?
Um, it works like it works for me by being quiet, uh, by not speaking, but by listening. It works in solitude, in quietness, in watching, as well as hearing. Like I'm always listening for soundscapes, and there is always a line, especially when I'm walking the dogs in the meadow or by the stream. There's always a line that's curling in my head that I'm repeating over and over. And often that line may appear at the start or at the end of a perspective poem.
Okay.
So that's a huge part of my process. It's the poems being rehearsed in sound in my mind before it ever gets, sees a piece of paper, Yeah.
And is that a constant process, or is I mean, or does it come in waves, or does it depend on how open you are because you're not doing anything else, have no commitments? Is that important? Do you?
Um, well, like life administration does poke its head around the door and gets in the way of one's process, of course. Um, we all have to get on with certain things that crop up. So yes, I can be disrupted, of course. I can be taken out of that by something or by something happening, or by daily life and it's, as I said, it's administration and management. But I think always in my head there's some music, there's some music happening. I mean, that sounds a little bit maybe cheesy, but there it's it there 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 is something there that will be mined later.
Okay, but you yourself do not play a musical instrument, or do you sing, or is that part of your life as well?
Well, um I have a piano.
Okay.
And I don't I did study until grade 9 when I was younger, but I'm more like free form, and I'll sit at it from time to time and just uh make something on the spot. And I do find that, like the painting, I do find that uh, freeing, and it does open the mind and closes down again that huge, massive part that is thinking or always trying to work things out. It closes that off and opens up possibility, I think, Um, so yeah, the piano for sure. And we also have a drum kit as well. Um, so yeah, I do love music for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, coincidentally, no, not coincidentally. So going to inject some music in the session on the 15th of July. And that is partly because we is the Pied Warptail Collective. Um, we actually played with you many moons ago by now. What was it, 2021? The winter of 2020, end of 2021, or this? Yes, I think it was 2021.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was either yeah, I think it was either 2021 or or 2022. I can't remember, but yeah, it was the winter,
Yeah,
and yeah, and yeah, it was beautiful to be with the collective. What a
very,
fantastic experience.
and it was with other poets as well, with
Yes,
Lauren
yes.
Donovan and oh yeah, and Michael Ray.
Lauren and Michael Ray, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but and it was also when we discovered the pied wagtails were sitting in a tree outside the Clonakilty Art Center where it took place. I don't know, but I remember that,
Oh
but
my
the
God, I
audience,
remember that too,
yeah,
Rosie.
that's why
Because
we,
they
yeah,
were they were wagging, their tails were wagging on the little trees
yeah,
outside.
yeah.
Is
It was a
that
whole
where your
roost of it.
name came from?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
In that moment, I was there in that moment.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, there was an audience, but they were all sort of separated, and it was a very small audience because it was the
Yeah,
midst of COVID.
yeah.
So, I always enjoyed it. I'm now wondering if maybe you should be drumming with us as well. Anyway, we can talk about that later. You have since that time actually you've made in terms of what is the benefits of being in a poetry infrastructure is you won prizes, amazing prizes like the Patrick Kavanagh Award. You've the Full for Poetry Chapbook Prize. You recently in May launched your I don't think it's Mirror, but anyway, it's called We Fall, We Carry. It's her a chapbook full of beautiful poetry. And how has that affected you at all? Was it Does it influence your poetry? Do you sort of now sit down and say, "Oh, I can do this," or is it still exactly the same as it always was? Like, is there an element of self-doubt still in you as there is in I think in 99.9% of the human population?
Um,
We're not good enough.
um, y- y- to answer your last question, yes, absolutely. I have doubt. And like I think like without doubt, um, we're nothing as as humans in our interaction, in our relationships, in our art. If we don't have doubt, then we're not questioning, and we're not trying, we're not making, endeavoring. So I think doubt is part of the process. And I probably I'd probably not be trying to make words that sing or chime for myself if I didn't have doubt, or if I wasn't searching for answers. Um, and then your point about being influenced by winning, uh, yes, I am delighted to win the Patrick Kavanagh. I mean, it's the most magical gift for a poet to receive the Patrick Kavanagh Award. And then the Fool for Poetry Chapbook Prize. I mean, I'm stunned and excited. And then the whole uh the whole um magic of having a book out there. Also the fear of having a book out there, but equally the magic and the the happiness of having a book out there is yes, certainly influences how I feel. But I hope but I what I want really, I suppose, in my work is not to think about that. I want to put that over here in a lovely in a lovely treasure box. And over here, I want to focus on the next work. I with doubt, you know, stay in
Welcome.
that.
Okay, my last question is because you were talking, I think, about a perspective poem, and I have noticed, and I'm really intrigued by, sometimes frustrated by, also by the different perspectives that are in your poetry. Because on the one, I want to have the whole story, full story, but I never get it because you choose different points of view of what for you may be the same thing, or the things that come up relating to whatever you started with, if there was, so do you have different sorts of poems? Do you find that there are is not every one of your poem a perspective poem poetry?
Uh, yeah. Um, do you do you mean like are they like uh, are they using a particular voice? You mean like the perspective of somebody else? Is that what you mean?
I'm not sure. It feels to me as if it's perspectives in you, but
Ah,
then the way you approach it because sometimes you think, oh, this is about her mother or her son or whatever, and then
yeah.
one line means that can't be true unless it's in a very abstract way. But then I
Ah,
just wonder how that works for you. But maybe that's
ah,
just you.
ah.
We all have different perspectives of everything, I think, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Like if I'm doing that, um I'm not intentionally doing that. And then I am intentionally doing that. You know what I mean? It's like that.
He says throwing two perspectives together.
The beautiful paradox, you know, like it's like you know, not saying and but saying, you know, that again, that seesaw of trying to extricate the thinking part and to integrate the senses, the feeling, the whatever is inside without the thinking. So if that's what my poetry does, then I I I apart from craft, I'm not sure that I hope it's not intentional. But then it is because of the craft, you know, the craft of the line, the looking at a word, the sound, um, and how the poem is on the page. So I don't think I've answered your question, Mosey.
Well, you haven't. Because I mean, it does suggest that you spent a long time after you've written a first draft and then spent a long time editing it. Is that true?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Shall we do on the 15th? Shall we do a question and answer that people can ask questions? Would you like that or would you hate that? Or both?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, sometimes I mean, you read and then I could sometimes I ask questions, but you can also open the
Oh, right. Yeah,
to the floor,
whatever
the
is.
people there who might be poets, fellow poets, or
Yeah,
want to write poetry, or just curious.
yeah. Oh,
Like,
I'm totally, yeah, an open book, whatever. Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay, that sounds great. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you on the 15th of July, 2020,
Thank you,
at the
Malti.
Barras Full Club, Pearse Street, 55 Pearse Street in Clonakilty, just in case you want to make it.